What is up, everybody, and welcome back. Oh, we're back. Oh, I know. I know you guys missed me. It's okay. I understand the pain. I understand. But we have a very, very special guest on the Scevoli X4 show today. He's in the future. He's in the past. He's in the present. He's everywhere. You know, he just comes out portals that he just likes to come out of, and we just accept him for who he is at this point. He is one of my favorite voice actors. He's voiced in Despicable Me. I think I always stutter that. I'm so sorry. I always stutter the name.
Sorry.
He's done The Loud House. He's done X-Men 97, which he's very known for as the future Mr. Bishop. Yeah. Isaac. Hold on, I got you. Isaac Robinson Smith.
Oh, man. I just need to keep that on tap and just have you play that whenever I walk around. That's great.
Hey, I'll give you that for free.
Oh, great. Thank you.
For free. I won't even charge you for that. So.
Oh, I appreciate it. All right. Good deal.
How are you, my friend?
I'm doing good. This whole experience has been so new and interesting and fun and like wonderful. And like getting to talk to people like you has been real. That's been the best part, honestly, because we're like, you know, we're in a studio for most of this and we just like do our part and then leave. And there's no like sometimes visuals, there's no music, there's no sound effects, there's no audience. So it's like we're kind of in a vacuum. So now that we're finally in a place to be able to talk about the show, like I've been working on it for 2.5 years. Well, I started 2.5 years ago on this thing. And so finally get 2.5 years. And so being able to like have everybody experience what we knew was going to be really awesome is so relieving. That's finally like out and people. So I'm having a great time. I'm getting to see people and meet the cast because we haven't gotten to meet each other really before the premiere and all that. So it's been really cool being able to go through this whole time and see how X-Men has impacted the world.
It has. You know, I was a secret fan of X-Men. You know, when you're a geek, you're a nerd, and you can't really express like, should I even say I'm an X-Men fan?
Yeah.
So finally, I've come out with it. You know, I came out of the book.
Yeah.
I'm a huge X-Men fan, and when 92, I wasn't alive. I wasn't even thought of probably.
Yeah.
And then you get 97 back on your screen, and it's beautiful animation. Like, it's just amazing. And the first episode, like the big fight scene, you know, with Sunspot and Jubilee and the whole cast, and then you see Bishop, and I'm like, yes. Bishop.
Yeah.
He's still with us.
Yeah.
He's still with us. Because I love Bishop. He's one of my favorite characters of the X-Men. Magneto's my all-time favorite.
Yeah.
Because I like Wanda. Wanda, you know.
Oh, yeah. That's a great... Yeah, of course.
So I was like, when they brought X-Men 97 back, I was like, that's amazing. And then the cast, your guys are amazing at what you do.
Oh.
You, JP, Matt, Jen, Lenore, Allison, you know, Cal, is that how you say Cal? Is that or
Cal? Yeah.
Cal. And AJ of Gamma, you know, to bring you guys new voices, you know, Lenore and Allison are the same. Which I love because I hope they didn't change Rogue's voice or Storm's voice because those voices are so unique.
Yeah. Or Cal too. Cal's original also.
Yes. Excuse me. Yes.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just a dream to see them all back. And like the first scene, like the first maybe 10 minutes of episode 1 was amazing. Like
right? Yeah. I got to experience it for the first time with an audience. I'd never seen the full animation yet, but the premiere was the first time I saw this show. And so I was at the El Capitan in Hollywood with my mom and my brother and one of my best friends, Brock, who's another incredible voice actor, and, you know, 1,000 other X-Men fans just watching it on a big screen. So it was like the best way to see it for the first time. Yeah. We were all like, we finally can see how it all came together. None of us had seen it yet. So it was dope.
None of you guys up to that premiere have seen the episodes.
No, I had only seen pieces of it because I did there's a process in animation called ADR. So we do all of the recording for the most part. Like the principle, basically, I kind of delineate it like as principal recording, where you go in and you have just the script and the director, and you do that, and then they animate later on. And then once the final animation starts to come in, there are places where you need to like sweeten things or tweak lines or add some stuff that wasn't there before. They have a scratch track kind of covering it. So the only animation that I had seen leading up to the premiere was the ADR, which is basically like little 1 to 2 minute segments of animation that I was adding my voice to, but I'd never seen a complete episode. I'd never seen the opening credits. I'd never seen any of the music. I'd never heard any of that, and now I know the Newton brothers, which is so cool. They're really cool guys. But yeah, all the elements coming together like that I had not seen, and so it was really spectacular. And also, it's a Disney theater. Like, Disney owns the El Capitan, so it was like the ultimate location to see this thing, because like it was all centered around us and what the characters were and the fans and the cosplay. So yeah, up until that point, long story short, I had not seen anything until that point, but it was so awesome to see it.
That sounds awesome. I wish I was invited. Thanks for the
Yeah.
invite.
Oh yes, you're like, thanks a lot. Just
Thanks
hanging
a
out
lot,
to dry
man.
here. Yeah.
Well, my first question to you, Isaac.
Yeah.
So 2 years ago, you've been working on X-Men '97,
Right.
Run for 2 years and a half, like you said.
Yeah.
Did you know that you were auditioning for the X-Men, or you knew that you were just going in doing a voice and you didn't know what was going on? How did you get the role of being?
Yeah, it's a good question, because it sort of was. It's interesting with certain projects like this. What they do is a lot of times, because of its secrecy and because it's Marvel, of course, they try to have some sort of veil over what the project is, just on the safe side, to make sure it's not spoiled for the world and to make sure nothing, because like up until the announcement of the show, there was nothing about it. There was nothing out in the press. There was nothing out on social media. Marvel is extremely good at keeping it very close to the chest. And so that's sort of what was going on with this audition, because when I got it, had a fake name. The characters had fake names. It was not anything that even pointed toward it being X-Men. But once I got into the actual script itself, even though the names that were sort of shifted around, the content was very obviously X-Men. Like, they were talking about, like, oh, they're talking about Storm and Magneto and Professor X. Like, I was like, and then I sort of started to put together that it was like, oh, is this the X-Men show? Like, I was trying to figure out, because, in my mind, when I've seen legacy things like this, usually it's like, oh, they're like rejuvenating the characters for like a video game or a special appearance for something, or some other like lesser impactful project that's sort of like a Marvel legacy project where they're like bringing back these characters to sort of just reintroduce them into the world. But as I read through it, I sort of was putting together that it was actually a show, and that's when it sort of started to coalesce into this idea. I was like, oh, this is real. Like, they're really bringing this show back. So like it was sort of like weird and out of body experience to see it and be like, is this really what's happening? And I went through 2 rounds of auditions for this thing. Funny enough, I went through the first round. I auditioned for a couple of the characters. I think I actually auditioned for Professor X and like one other character. Didn't get anything in the first round, and I'm happily did not get them. I think Ross Marquand as Professor X is phenomenal. And like, everybody that's been chosen is so well thought out and so well planned. Like, the whole creative team is just, I think they make the show what it is. I just show up and say a couple things. But then the second, so I was like, so the first round went out, didn't hear anything, and I was like, all right, well, that's it. That's the last thing I'll hear about it. And then like maybe 2 months later, 3 months later, maybe a little bit less, I got another audition for the same project, and I was like, okay, so there's more stuff in here, I guess. And I went through the character choices, and this is like any other audition. I just get an email, and it comes from my agent, and I send in the MP3, and we're basically screaming into a void and hoping that something happens. But I got the audition, and I saw. It's really funny, and I've said this in other conversations, but his name was Boris, was Bishop's code name for this thing, and I figured out who it was by context, and then I went online and I looked up clips of Bishop from the original show and tried to get sort of a sense of who he was and what his character was like and what the voice originally was. Philip Aiken is the original voice of the character. So I wanted to study kind of what his idea was. And I just kind of went for my own version. And I didn't really hear anything after that for about a month. I mean, these things take a long time. Like, there's a significant amount of time in between auditioning and getting any sort of answer. A lot of times, like, you don't know. Sometimes it's like a year later. You don't. Like, one of my first auditions ever for animation, I didn't hear for a very long time. But then I was in a session for a video game called Starfield, Bethesda's new open world. I did a role in that. And I was in the session for that when I got the email from my agent saying, you got the role of in this show. And at the time I was like, this is great. I don't really know what this means for this, because I was like, I kind of know who the character is. And I assumed, because this is kind of the work that I'd had up to that point, I assumed, I was like, oh, this is probably some, side character that has like maybe a couple episodes and like is just incidental and like great to be part of it, but I'll just kind of, throw it away and not that I'll throw it away. It's very, important, but like I was like, I guess I'm saying I didn't realize the impact of the role that I'd gotten at that point. I was like, oh, cool, I have another opportunity to work. That's usually where my mind goes. I'm like, cool, I have a job tomorrow. And so I got it and I started recording, and then as time has gone on, I've sort of started to realize how important this guy was and what he meant to people and how much of an integral part of the story he is. And I didn't really understand that, but I feel so lucky and so thankful that I got chosen to do this. And it feels still like I don't really know what's happening. like I go to like, superhero movies and I go to Marvel films. I just saw all 3 of the Batman movies that came out in theaters, and I was so excited about that. And then I remember this weekend actually sitting there thinking like, I'm part of this superhero storytelling world. Like, this is so wild. But yeah, so that's basically how I got the job. Is I just got the audition and I gave it my best shot, and I got really lucky, and I'm happy that I get to be part of this wonderful story. So that's how it happened. Too. Yeah, thank you.
Very happy you are.
Yeah.
Well, let's switch gears for a minute, because I know you posted something on your IG recently about the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You're part of that universe too.
Yeah.
How was that like?
That was so cool, because that was something that I didn't intend of being part of, like, ever. Like, it just, there are certain things that you're like, oh, other people do that show. But the people at Nickelodeon are so kind to me. They have allowed me to, I think one of the biggest things that I feel is gratitude in this whole process. I just feel gratitude, but also I feel so grateful to them in addition, because them and also Disney and other people that I've worked for, because I have been lucky enough to work with people that trust what I can do and what I'm able to bring. So some of these roles, like for TMNT, I don't think I auditioned for that stuff that I got. It was just purely based off of my reputation and the kind of the work I'd done before, because I've been doing some work for Nick for a little bit at that point. So like the team sort of had a familiarity with what I was able to do. And then they just asked me to be part of it. And I was like, yeah, I would love to be part of Mutant Ninja Turtles. So like, I'm not like huge roles by any means, but like I get to be part of this. The animation's so cool and the storytelling is so fun. And so that it's just been, so the overall feeling is just happiness and gratitude, because I know how much these stories mean to people, especially people from my generation that grew up in the 90s. So it's been really cool to kind of sum it all up. It's been really fun and really gratifying for me.
Yeah. It's great, because even with like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, X-Men,
and
it's just it's amazing. It's just, you do great work.
Thank you.
So back to Bishop. So when you first got the role of Bishop, now you did your research. Did you ever say to yourself, did you ever connect to Bishop in like certain scenes, or maybe certain like things, certain aspects of him, and maybe the X-Men didn't like what he had to say, but you would you go, okay, I kind of get that. Like Magneto, kind of like like everybody thinks Magneto's a bad guy, but no, he's just like a misunderstood guy for me. Right.
I think what's interesting about Bishop is he's sort of, he literally is, he's a man out of time, so he's kind of all over the place, and he's sort of trying to assume and assert these responsibilities from a good place, I think, but I think his logic and his alliances sort of shift with what seems to be the right thing at the time, as far as I can tell so far. I'm learning about him as I'm playing him. But, it seems like he can be swayed, not in a bad way, like people can pull him around necessarily on his opinion. But, in the first time he appeared in the show, when he had a definitive idea of this is what's happening, I got to find this person because they killed this person, and I know that this is the motive. And then the X-Men and the Twins were like, no, this is actually what happened. Like, you have to understand that this is not what you think. I think Bishop comes from a good place, but because of his trauma and because of his experience with having so much horrific events happen to him, I think he kind of does have this sort of like, well, I got to test you out first before I completely align with what you have to say. And what I connect to with Bishop, which I've talked about a little bit before, is the duality of feeling like you're part of a group and like you're not part of a group, because Bishop kind of travels back and forth in time, so he never really has a home necessarily. He's never really like, this is where I belong. He's sort of like, I'm taking care of everybody all at one time in different time periods, and I'm never really stable in one place, and yet I have this responsibility because I know what the important I know what the important outcome should be, so I'm going to try my best to find that. I identify with the duality and the difficulty with duality being a biracial actor. You know, I'm half black and half white. So I don't feel like through my whole life, and I still deal with this, I had never felt like I completely belong in one community, like either the black community or the white community. So I sort of have to find that middle ground and just say, I accept and I love myself for who I am. And I'm going to find my own sense of self and own sense of security with what I want to do, despite the fact that I have all these messages coming in about what I should believe or what I should go, you know. So I sort of identify with his fight to be correct, despite the fact that he has so many different things coming out of all of one. I mean, the quote, seen a lot of futures, that line, I think says, this guy knows what's out there. And so,
He probably
you know,
knows what happens to me.
yeah, exactly. Yeah. He's figured it out. Yeah. So I think trying to find a sense of self amidst all of that chaos is something that I really identify with. And I think a lot of people can identify with that. And so that's sort of what I have tried to glue myself into when I'm playing this character at his core, is sort of like remembering that is like a kind of a intrinsic quality about him. But then there's all this other stuff that he deals with, you know, that's super interesting. So there's a lot of like points that I'm like discovering along the way, if that makes sense.
Yes.
That's very, yeah. So that's sort of what I feel when I think about the character personally.
And don't worry, Isaac, you can come to my community. You know?
Good, thank you.
It's the Scevoli X-Force community. You can
yeah.
You're part of my community.
Good. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
So, Isaac, my next question is your favorite scene from 97 from season 1.
You know,
it doesn't even have to be Bishop related.
No. I was gonna say the first scene. It's the hardest one to watch, but the first thing that comes to mind, as devastating as it is, was the end of episode 5. I think that's where, I mean, everybody talks about that episode, but like, and I had not seen it. You know, it's really funny actually, and I don't think I've told this story. Before the show even happened, or was this after? I can't remember if this is after the premiere or before. But at some point, me and Holly and AJ and Lenore all got lunch together in LA. And just to be like, hey, we haven't like hung out. We should like do stuff together. So we all went to lunch and we were talking about the show, and we were talking about, you know, obviously, you know, the excitement of it and everything. And I think it was either AJ or Lenore that brought up episode 5. And they were like, oh yeah, I mean, after that, I don't know what people are going to think. And I didn't know. I hadn't seen it. I didn't know what they were talking about. They had recorded it and I wasn't part of it. And I got a lot of texts on when episode 5 happened. Like, where were you? What was happening? But we all had lunch and I was like, oh, okay. I don't know what you guys are talking about, but that's cool. I guess, you know, I'll find out when that episode aired. And then I saw it. And I think the reason that it's so significant, not only besides all the thing that happens, but from an overall standpoint, I feel like that's the moment where I realized, oh, this storytelling team is not like, it's elevated to a new level of complexity and impact and detail and risk taking. It was a risky move to do something like that. And I think that was really cool because they actually took the time to do something that wasn't like not like X-Men 92 was more light because it had such heavy and such adult themes, but this particular moment was so no holds barred, all in, all, you know, completely vulnerable. And I was like, I love that this is where we're headed with this show, because this is what I feel like it showed the power of animation in a level that I hadn't really seen before in something like that, especially with something that everybody knew, with something that everybody was already attached to, that had an idea of. And so that's why I love that moment. And then for me personally, time for an exorcism, punks, was the coolest line to say ever. So that was great. And then we at that, and now we got to go rescue the X-Men. was really cool because I was like, this is like kind of a cool episode concluding sort of moment. So those were neat things. But yeah, the artistry and the acting and the wonderful cohesion of talent in episode 5 really just, I was like, man, we're part of something really cool. This is great.
Yeah, because no one knew when I was watching it, and I was like, okay, what are they gonna do with this one? Like, you know,
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting nobody to die in the first season. You know, you wait the season, the third season to kill someone off.
Yeah.
And Gambit, you know, Gambit's
right.
a fan favorite.
Oh
Gambit is, people love him. Like, I love Gambit, but I'm not like that. But I know a lot of people that are the biggest Gambit fans out there. You know, I'm the biggest Bishop fan. You know.
Yes. Thank you. Know? Yes.
But yeah, I was watching it, and I'm like, no, they're not gonna do that. Yeah. And then it happened, and then with Rogue, and I was like, I was almost to tears actually.
Yeah.
I was like,
understandably.
I was like, wow, I'm definitely gonna remember this. Like, remember it, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
Like, God.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I was so shocked of what they did, and then like everybody's crying. It's like, it's so sad. I'm like, wow, like this, like how are they gonna go to the next episode? Like, I don't know what they're gonna do next episode.
I know, right? Yeah, like he just yeah, so many things, so many emotions. But it's so good. But yeah, once that happened, I walked away sad, but I also walked away proud. I was like, this is cool. I'm really happy that I get to be part of this like storytelling. Yeah.
Really good. And then what else? And then like I can't wait because you're going to New York Comic Con this year.
Yes.
So I cannot wait to meet you. I cannot wait to meet Jubilee Holly.
Yeah.
Sunspot. Who else is gonna be there? AJ Gambit is gonna be there Sunday because I'm going Sunday. You're gonna be there Sunday.
I will be there Sunday. Yep.
Who else is going Sunday?
I think, is Allison gonna be there? I gotta look at the ad again and see.
Yeah, you guys got announced so quickly, and then I was like, okay, I just can't keep track of all of it. So I was like, and it's not like they did each individual, you guys, you know?
Right.
So it's like, oh, they didn't even do the scheduling.
Yeah.
Like, put it like this, like she's gonna be there that day. Because some people are not. I thought you guys were all gonna appear the 4 days, right? The 16th, 17th, 18th.
Right.
But I was like, Magneto's not gonna be there. I said, Rose canceled her thing.
Yeah.
There. But I was like, thank God, my favorites are gonna be like Bishop, Jubilee.
Yes.
Sunspot. I probably forget, but you're in my top 3.
No, thank you, dude. Yeah.
I wanted to meet Magneto, Matt. But he won't. He'll only be there.
That's okay. We're all going to be around. You know, actually, speaking of that, I think I'll show you. I have this picture up in my studio now because we did this at Comic-Con Revolution. Kind of a fun memory. But I have it to remind me of how cool everybody is. So that's all of us.
That's cool.
Cool, right? Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's the first time I met Ross in person. I've met him at the premiere, but you know. Anyway, but yeah, we'll all be around. I think the hardest to find is Ray Chase. Like he's impossible to get. Like he's so busy. He just made a video game he spent 6 years working on. So, you know.
I was like, yeah, because I'm like, where is this guy at? Like, why is Cyclops? She's like the leader of the X-Men.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on here?
Because he's doing a million things. He's just so busy.
I love Ray. He's good.
Yeah, he's awesome. Yeah.
But we're closing out in a few minutes.
Okay.
Bishop. I'm gonna call you Bishop because you know
it's all good.
Like,
yeah.
Bishop is like
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite line from X-Men '97? I know you said it before, but that.
Yeah. Oh man. And
it could be a line that you have recorded, but it's in season 2.
Yeah. Oh man. It's not a specific line necessarily. Well, okay, that's a lie. There are a few lines. I forget exactly who says it in what order, but the exchange between Rogue and Storm, the mind your weather and make them weather your mind, that was awesome. Really, any of Matt's monologues are amazing. One that actually stuck out that was really impactful for me was actually one of Sunspot's lines. Something Guy said in episode 1 where he says, "Be an X-Men Jubilee, I can't even be myself." I really like that.
Love Sunspot.
Sugar, I can't feel you. Like and there was one. I mean, I think for me, my personal was what was it? How to start? I should know my own script. Is seen a lot of futures, but Magneto leading the X-Men, that's a new one. That was cool. Yeah, those are the ones that come to mind immediately. But
No, I love Magneto's speech.
yeah,
Up in the
up in the thing. Yeah.
I love that because I'm like, Magneto is not a bad guy, people. Like, you guys just push him over the edge.
Yeah.
You guys just want to kill him so bad.
Yeah.
And he's, you know what? And I was like, I hope he doesn't kill these people, because then he'll be the talk of like everything. The mutants are not going to get along with the regulars. I was like, there's no way.
Right.
But I was like, okay, the speech was awesome, and then when it happened, I was like, that's good. Maybe the regular people can be with the mutants, but I still think they will be. But we'll see in season 2,
Yeah.
We'll see what's in store.
Yep. Yeah.
So is there anything you can tell us from season 2? I know you can't tell us anything really. I'll try to get it out of you.
Yeah, it's a good effort. I am unfortunately tight-lipped on that one. There is so much riding on. Well, I want to keep my job, first of all, but I will tell you that I am really excited for it to come out. I'm glad that they have, announced that it's happening, and they're taking their time with it, which I think is really good. I don't have any concept of any kind of release window, really, but it's in production, and you're just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. I can't say anything. Yeah.
Bishop.
I know. Yeah.
Lucky you're good. You're lucky you're good.
Yeah.
But my final question to you, because I know you have to leave.
Yeah.
So if anybody out there is listening to this or watching this that wants to be a voice actor, what is there? Because I love animation. I would love to be a voice actor one day.
Yeah.
Because animation is like my home way,
Yeah.
Live action's good. Don't get me wrong. I like live action, but animation is like the sacred, like the home, for me.
Right.
What is that one thing, that piece of advice that you can give that girl, boy, man, woman, whatever?
Yeah.
That to be a voice actor, and what that advice for them?
Yeah. A couple of things I would say are have a basis in acting. Voices and the voices we do for the characters are just a part of what the job is. And I know a lot of people sort of get caught up in, when I've talked to people about voiceover, something they say is, well, I don't do a lot of voices. I don't think I can be in the voice acting world. And I'm like, that's not true. That's a myth. They don't care how many voices you can do. They care about being good actors and bringing characters to life. And so having a good basis in acting, whether it be performance on stage or improv or stand-up or community theater or theme park performance, that's where I got a lot of my training. I worked at Universal Studios, Hollywood, and Disneyland for 11 years. And I got so much education and so much knowledge and so much practice performing, because I started in theater and did that through college, but then really cut my teeth in front of an audience doing those kinds of things. So have a good basis in acting and really trust that that's going to carry you most of the way. Then, the other thing I would say is take voice acting classes. A lot of this is education. Also, I think overall, don't let the void of no response or rejection make you feel like you can't do it. For my personal career, I've been after voiceover as a career for almost 17 years, and you're just now seeing the result of that work. I'm just now coming into the public eye as a voice actor, but there's a lot of years where that wasn't the case. And so not giving up in that sense, but also being kind to people has been one of the largest and most important lessons that I have tried to tell people, because you never know who is going to connect to what part of your life and career later on. And so if you're just kind to everyone along the way, that will pay back in spades once you move through enough of this work. So be kind to people, have a basis in acting that makes you feel good about your performance, get some education in voiceover classes, and keep moving, because overnight successes don't exist in LA. People that seem like they had an overnight success had 10 years of nothing before they got it. So, that's what I have. That's most of what I have to say about advice.
I can't wake up in a portal in a future, I can't do that.
Well, you know, it's only a couple of us that can do that. So
I know.
yeah.
And you're one of them. So
Yeah,
I can't really get my mind wrapped around that. Maybe we gotta get together one day and go through the portal. You know, you know, you can be Bishop. You know,
right.
But that's, ladies and gentlemen, Isaac Robinson Smith. Ladies and gentlemen. There he is.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
That's nice. See now you just did it. Now now I can die happily in my bed.
Oh, good.
Now I can die happily.
Yeah.
But Bishop, thank you so much.
Yeah.
So much for joining me on the Scevoli X-Force show.
Thanks for having me.
I really appreciate you and your work and your awesomeness. And like I said before the show, you're one of my favorite voice actors.
That's really, thank you. That's so sweet.
So I cannot wait to hold you in New York. You know, just don't
right.
security on me. Yes. Don't hurt me. You know, don't like throw me into another portal. You know, just let it be. You know,
just let it happen. Yeah, no, I get it.
Happen, you know, if you go, Chris, like it's been 10 minutes. No, it's been long. It's got
no.
Isaac, then if you want to call security, I understand that.
Yeah.
But you know, like at that point, like just let it happen.
Yeah. At that point, I'm already in. Yeah.
You're already in there. You know.
Yeah.
But before we go, where can everybody find you on the social medias?
Yes, so on X and Facebook so Instagram and X, I'm IRS Voices, and on Facebook, I'm Isaac Robinson Smith. You can just find me there. I'm also on LinkedIn as Isaac Robinson Smith. So I think, or IRS Voices, one of the two, but you can find me pretty easily. And then my website, irsvoices.com, I update that all the time with my stuff. It's pretty simple. I'm out there. I'm here. So that's where I live.
And where will you be next? Where will people meet to see you? Is that New York the next one, or you have something?
Actually, LA Comic Con. So October 4th through the 7th in the LA Convention Center is where I'll be with some of my cast mates. And then October 17th through the 20th at New York. So I'm excited. Looking forward to seeing everybody.
I know. I can't wait to meet you. I can't wait
to
talk to you.
It'll be there. It'll be great.
It'll be great. You know, have some mimosas. You know, I don't even drink, but we can do it. You know?
Yeah, right.
You know,
right.
But now I'm going to ask you, if you can do it, you don't have to.
Yeah.
Can you exit the Scevoli X-Force show with a Bishop line or whatever you want to say in the Bishop voice, and that's how we'll end the show.
Okay. What? Tell me. So the Scevoli X-Wars show, right?
The Scevoli X-Force show. Yes.
Okay. You just listened to the Scevoli X-Wars show, and I had a great time talking on it.
Isaac Robinson Smith, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank
make
you.
Sure you guys subscribe down below to the YouTube channel, the Scevoli X-Force show. Be kind to one another, and may the force be with you, my friends. Always. To me, my X-Men.
Yes.